All right. New subject. Sunny outside. New day. I don't know how to start these things anymore. It's always criticizing the
No, you
intro.
just go right in.
Go
That's
right in. AI. We're gonna talk about
it's
AI.
like when if you're making a call to someone you don't know, get to the point. Like, don't go start asking, "How are you? Is this
Hey,
it?"
how
Like,
you,
yeah, what do you want? Like, that's how I'm gonna be.
Even
So,
with family. What do you want?
man, get
What's
to the
happening?
no. I'm saying, get to the point. Like,
Sure.
so. Anyways, that's my opinion.
Okay, so we're getting to the point. So AI.
no,
we're
because
gonna
I'm
talk
wondering,
about
like this all exchange,
No, but see,
that's our
So
intro.
everybody that listens to the live, right? Instead of just go moving forward toward this conversation, all they hear is it's in saying, "Well, when you call
no,
someone
because it's at least next
with the
time.
nosy nose, with the nosy nose."
Next time you'll move on. You'll because if I'm tuning in because I did this exercise last week because I wasn't here because of COVID. But I still
Maybe it's still the
have
case.
I guess karma is calling.
And you wanna if someone's just watching, if you jump in, bang, this is the subject and we're talking about it. Hey, how do
Etienne wants the whole, ladies and gentlemen, today's
No, I
subject
don't.
will
I'm
be
saying go right into
He
the
wants
topic.
the Cooper,
Okay, go.
whatever it is.
Come on, Anderson Cooper. Anderson
Yeah,
Cooper,
exactly.
the CNN.
Yeah. No, but I wanted to talk about
You only
AI.
took 4 minutes to talk.
I know.
Before even starting
Well,
anything.
you guys
All right.
keep talking.
Well,
It's hard to interrupt. I was well raised. So AI, that's I want to talk about it. So for a broker, I know we always talk about automation, but I feel
Yeah.
like it's getting a bit generic. It's yes, okay, you can automate. It's going to help you a lot. Yes, the power of it is huge. But what else AI wise? I would think is the subject that I'd like to talk about. What else is considered as AI, which in the next, let's say, 1 to 5 year, will completely wipe off something that a broker right now has to do in a mandatory way?
well, before even getting there, I'll let Etienne talk about that. The fact that you said the automation is common and etc.
Yeah, it's not common
it's
at all.
not common at all.
I
It's
like
not
that
common
you're
the
saying-
amount of time that we talk about
Yeah,
it.
but if-
exactly.
It's not enough.
But
It's
you got to
not enough.
educate the brokers to understand that exists, and I don't
Sure.
think we can talk enough about it because it's not being used at all. Like I don't know anybody that does the
That's
things
why
that we do.
I think anybody that actually does it will have a stratosphere of advantage towards anybody else in the business. So imagine you do
For
it
sure.
now. Imagine in 3 years by continuing doing it, you're gonna eclipse anybody else in the industry if you do it right. If
Someone think of this: a broker that's actually considering going into a team or starting a team
Yes.
right away. If he uses those tools, you save another human being for quite some time before you have to actually hire someone. The light has changed and it looks like the lights have closed, but so
good
maybe
to
you can adjust it, Stephen.
maybe
But-
let's turn this one.
But as you do that, I'm going to continue. So and so for someone that's like, oh, I'm at a point where I can't do everything myself, I need to hire someone. Before you do that, you can use automation. You could use it to your advantage of, okay, now I don't necessarily need to hire someone and it saves me half the time. For the teams or for the people that already have teams, you could save on a lot of time and hours and just using how we use it because we're a big team, all the ticket creation, the
Yes.
automation, the workflows that we create. Something happens, you book a meeting, I get a notification instantly. It's this that consumes most of the time and the manpower throughout a team's day-to-day activities. So can we talk
Definitely.
about automation? We talk about it a lot because I think it's the first step before even going further with the artificial intelligence. And
Sure.
but
Okay.
let's talk about artificial
No,
intelligence.
that's okay. So in that case, automation wise, let me ask a question directly to Jeff. So you have as now I shine like a diamond, but it's I'm just gonna ask. So on your side, Jeff, like you were speaking on the French version, we were speaking on the French version, right? On how you're able to basically manage between your wife having her
I can wait optimization.
Right. No, but I wanted to know if even in the management part of the business, because you're not on the brokerage side, but you are on the management side, and
Yeah.
you have a lot to manage. If the automation is really a game changer with you, so basically the question is, if you didn't have access to any type of automation, would you still be able to do what you do
You're still able to do it, but
in the same efficiency, the same
That's it. You're not able to
quantity,
do
the
it
same?
we're all human. It's as simple as that. If as good as I can be, I'm not gonna be perfect. Like right, you said it. The last 6 months been one of my biggest challenge ever
Yeah.
because I was everywhere at the same time. I was I had the two kids at home, my wife in Toronto, so and have to occupy multiple hats in the company and learning a lot about the business
Yeah, at the same time.
at the same time because anyway, so if I didn't have any sort of tools, I would have dropped the ball even more. Because there's these days, as much as you can say, some days you will be tired. Some days you will not feel like it. Some days you won't be as sharp or as focused as you should be. Well, if you have those tools helping you in your day to day, if you have those tools at least directing you a little bit, and when you did the thinking before, when you were top shape and on and 100%, well, just that allows you to do much more. There's some days where all I do is just I just execute on a game plan that was already established for myself. So yeah, way more
Definitely.
efficient.
So now I have a question back to Etienne, but do you want to say?
Yeah, I
something?
wanted to say something
Go ahead.
about again, going back to being a broker and how to use some of that technology that we use. Is that imagine, Gabriel, about the automation, about the workflows that we create. If this happens, then that consequence or that communication goes out. Imagine if you're a broker and you're listing and you want to communicate to your sellers what's going on, and you can automate all these things. So when you move to a step, the property is now officially on Centris, then they get an automated text message or an email saying, hey, here's the link to the property, go check it out, tell me if you like it. We don't do that. No broker does that right now. They're all doing it manually, if at all, right? But I'm saying if we used it the way we use the technology, and I went back to being a broker, that's what I would do. I would schedule all these things, pre-organize it, create these automated workflow. If this happens, then that. Imagine if you wanted to communicate to your sellers, because I was primarily a listing broker, but imagine all the communications about the visits, what took place, what's happening, what are the next steps, all done through automation instead of having to do it manually and this and that. And the way we work with our different things, like no
It's
broker
insane.
knows that even exists, or else they do it because you'd be crazy not doing it. You save
course.
tons and tons of times and mistakes. That's also a big part of why we do it, because we just forget, or we get busy, or we forget to communicate. Now this is all, as soon as this happens, then this consequence or this communication.
The amount of time when I get a text, I will open it to answer and I get distracted
Exactly.
for whatsoever. Then I just only come back to my text because I try to text and respond to my messages in certain moments in my day. When the next moment I get into the text is later that night or later that evening. And that is if I remember that, because the text is open now. So I don't remember, and I get 50 texts in 2 hours. So
Yeah.
I have to go back into all those.
So all of the things that you have to do as a listing broker or as a buying broker, all the different steps, everything could be done through automation. Everything. So that your client gets this beautiful, great experience, and it's not
Yes.
relying upon you and your memory or your manual doing of things.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So we have quite a few questions popping in, but before we get to them, we're going to go quick on our Crown video. So the Mela Group is also in new construction. We have a video with more details on our newest one, and we'll be right back with you. All right. So we have a few questions that came in.
ahead.
We had Sam that's asking us, so what's your favorite tool?
Mine? That's an easy one. HubSpot.
Yes.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
tool
Steven
for,
says his tractor.
my tractor is a
It's
toy.
It's a toy.
My favorite tool for my business is HubSpot. And I hope that I get something from them because I've actually referred a lot of business to HubSpot. I got a mug. It's too bad I don't have it with me, but my
That's
orange
true.
mug,
Gave
mug
him
is
50,000 in revenue, gets a mug. Sounds
that
great.
tool for me has just changed my whole life, my whole business. Now it's not.
quite fantastic.
I love that thing immensely. I'm sure there's other companies. There must be hundreds, if not more.
No, there are. Well, they're one of the reference and the way they evolve into like the features, and they constantly evolving. And you can actually, when you talk to them, you can actually propose.
What? Oh yeah,
you can
Cer-
propose
yes.
certain, and like so. There's 2-3 features I would love us to be able to do, and they're like, yeah, we can code it. For
And
you.
they keep, because I've been using it for years now, and to your point, they keep adding things,
Yes.
improving things. Like oftentimes I just open the app
You're like,
and then
"Wait,
I'm like, oh great, they added this thing or another. It's great. I really like it. There's a big competitor, which is Salesforce, which a lot of
Yes.
people know. It's one of the biggest in the world. But I use HubSpot just because I fell upon it, and I really like it.
Amazing.
What's your favorite? Would you say, Jeff?
I'd say HubSpot as well.
That's
It's
really.
like,
play-
it's
we
like
play a
you
lot.
guys work in the same company. It's crazy.
No, because we play in it. We play in the platform
That's true.
like certain
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
should be, but we play.
Looking behind me.
And
I don't
yes,
know
we're
who's
talking about Gabriel,
yeah,
but we
obviously.
play the
Imagine if
platform.
we all were
Imagine.
really fans of it and took the time to play
Oh,
and
but now I
understand.
have to take Steven's
You know,
role.
when
I don't have
sometimes when my baby wakes up at night, well, and she can't go back to sleep, well, I'm gonna play a video on HubSpot and its features and how to optimize XYZ.
It's a huge platform. It's not something you sit one day and learn.
No.
It's I've been on it for years and I still learn every day. But it's such a great thing.
It's insane.
100%.
So I encourage everybody to check it out.
We have a question here that came in from our very own Maria, who says, "What would you say automation cannot replace in today's workplace?" That's a great question.
Yeah, that's a great question. The thing it can't replace is the actual programming of it, like especially.
Can you expand on that? Because
Well, yes, like and like I said earlier, maybe if you're a listing broker and you want to create like a workflow of, okay, whenever I go take a listing, the next steps or communications are this and that, and that's personal to you. Like you might do it a certain way, Jeff might do it in another way, so you still have to program it into the platform like HubSpot.
But you know they're gonna get there because they're gonna get into certain, not necessarily hotspot, but they're gonna be programs that will see an opportunity in certain sector activities
Well,
and address them.
well, Jeff,
into-
KV Core, which
That's
is
right.
all Royal LePage brokers have access to a company to a CRM similar to HubSpot, but that's tailored to real estate
That's right.
and unique exclusively to Royal LePage brokers. It's included, and that tool called the Royal LePage Sphere is a HubSpot, but for real estate that
That's
was
right.
tailored to real estate brokers.
that's what I was going to
So,
say.
good
Because
point.
we have
Yep.
we had Sam that popped in that saying, "I'll start playing around with it just to be ready." When she was talking
Yes,
about the HubSpot,
course.
but at the same time,
Oh
I
no!
think
Well, wait.
we should talk more about the Sphere. At that
Yes,
point, right?
yes. If you're going to be a real estate broker, I would jump into the Sphere because it's tailored to real estate. They've done a lot of the work already for you, so, and it's included in your
Your membership.
membership fee. So, yes, absolutely. Does it have the same capacity of HubSpot? Probably. It's not as big as of a platform, but you know, only 20% use Sphere. And do they even use it to its full capacity? No. So before you get to the point of wanting to jump from a Sphere platform to because it's not enough and go to HubSpot, I think you got like a good 5-6 years of work.
And if you get to that point, at
Yeah,
one
you're
point, for
you're
whatever
you're
reason,
flying.
that means
You're-
your business will be flying
You-
and you won't.
it's gonna be
issues.
yeah, it's gonna be a good problem to
It's gonna
have.
be a great problem.
100%. So Sam is now saying, "Oh, perfect, thank you." She's
Yeah.
probably talking to me, but it's okay.
Of course,
course.
she's-
I have a question.
You always
Will
do.
I know I'm full of questions. I never have the answers though. But as Etienne replaces my bottles, will AI make you lazy?
no.
Impossible.
Why? If it does all the job for you.
No, because if
It
you
doesn't do
understand
the job for
AI, if you understand AI, that means you're not a lazy person. You won't be. If you're a lazy person, you won't even use AI. You won't even think of using AI. But the moment you understand,
No, but I think Gabriel means will it make you not do certain things because you're going to rely on it, which I guess it's going to take away some of the manual things that you do. If so, but
But
laziness
shouldn't,
is
no, but shouldn't it be a danger that since it's taking away most of my follow-ups and this and that, instead of saying during that time I'm gonna do even more prospecting, so once since I have that time, people are, oh well, since this is taken care of for me, I can relax and do whatever and take more admin time instead of prospecting it. Wouldn't that be?
well, again,
I think
Yes,
that's
you.
fair.
I saw it in the
I think
eyes.
it's you see, it's a reflection of how you would approach it, but
well, depends on your objective. I don't think if your objective is just to surf. When I say surf, it's just to have a sort of a. I'm not gonna. I was gonna say something, but I don't think it's appropriate. But
Well,
if
you
depending
can.
on your
That's what
if
it
your
seems as
objective,
every day.
let's put
nothing
numbers.
stops me from saying it.
That's
let's
what I
say
was
let's say let's say you have a number objective and you want your growth revenues to be 500k, and
Sure.
you never want to grow over 500k. Well, sure, you might. It will allow you to have more time, and you won't do anything else to try to grow and to try
Yeah,
to.
but
build
wouldn't
your
that be a
business.
great solution for brokers? Or wow, I can make
course.
500k plus it takes me a lot
But
less
yes,
time.
but that's
and
right. That's absolutely right. So those that have a revenue goal that they've already achieved and they're happy, because we hear that often, right? We
Yes.
interview brokers and they say, no, I'm happy where I'm at revenue wise. But
That's right.
my next question is, what about if you did that with half the time or a fraction of the time? Wouldn't that be
Sure.
great? And often the answer is yes, of course. But they're not using this stuff, and this is what it's going to give you. The reason why I fell upon this stuff, by the way, because I was doing everything myself, right? So my logic was, well, I can't afford to go hire people and train them. It's going to be too long. So what could I use or do? And that's how I fell
Yep.
upon HubSpot
Yep.
or a platform similar to it. And then that's the power of that tool, as I was saying earlier. You don't have to hire someone for a good while if you know how to use this technology.
Absolutely.
So my last question at that point would be, what would
And
be?
sorry, but I just thought of something, and that's why Steven is leaving us tonight, because we have no use for him anymore. He's been
Steven was not
replaced.
aware that he was leaving, by the way.
As he was working with us for the last 8 to 9 months, we had a program study artificial intelligence.
To give
Uh,
him
to
another
Tracking
job.
all his moves.
Yes, so that we could actually replace him with a smarter, quicker, more intuitive thing called a computer. So no, but I wanted to take a minute before we finish, Gabriel, because you don't have the same sensitivity that
Probably
I
not.
do,
Sure.
and say thank you
Well, you're
for
the one
all
that
these
cries.
9 months or 8 or whatever it was. Great guy, keep it up. Your attitude was I think what stood out the most for everybody.
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
everybody liked you. There's not one person that like well, except Gabriel.
Yeah. Well,
No,
it was
it
more
was
of
a love
a
and hate
brotherly,
Yeah. It's like the big brother response.
No,
yeah,
but
yeah.
also
Younger
Jeff,
very big brother, and
you
this
know,
very
you-
small.
as you were saying earlier, he just anytime we needed something, called you, texted you, emailed you, always on board. We brought you to Quebec City a few times for business. We had to go, and you never said, "Well, I don't know."
It's like, I'm in.
Yeah,
Every
Sure.
time you never question anything.
so you have a great personality. I hope that your future plans and endeavors are as good. I'm
Keep,
sure they will be.
Keep being with that open mindset and be willing to do, and he is willing to do everything. When we decided to start this journey of doing those daily lives. He said, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." But he didn't know anything about lives and those platforms and the sound and cameras. And yes, it took us a while to pick up, but he was willing every day. He was there doing it.
And now that we have the AI programmed,
It all changes.
But for real, thank you, Steven. It's been an honor, and don't hesitate to reach out because
we'll stay in touch for sure.
absolutely.
100%. All right. So, Steven, all the best in your future projects. Gentlemen, thank you for kind of participating. And we will see you all tomorrow for another live.